Hello, it's Davina. I'm in my Combo Breaker t-shirt. We're in my kitchen again. And at this point of the year, it gets dark early and doesn't get light until late. And that will continue on for a while yet, but we are through the main holidays. So things will slowly start to get lighter sooner. And the next big holiday is Valentine's Day. So I'm going to dedicate a few episodes to desserts that you might want to make to impress someone else. And today, I'm going to do the most dangerous cheesecake on the face of the earth. Now, when I say this is the most dangerous cheesecake on the face of the earth, this is the most dangerous cheesecake that my family knows of. My mother used to make this cheesecake, and it was so delicious that at one point she decided it was too dangerous. She was eating too much of this cheesecake, and she got rid of the recipe. And then after a year, she realized she wanted it for her birthday, and she couldn't find it. But either my sister or I had a copy of it. You can see in my little recipe card thing, the card that holds the cheesecake has been so well used and loved that it has fallen out. But the recipe for this involves making your own chocolate crust with cookies and butter, cream cheese, powdered sugar, eggs, whipping cream, vanilla, and chocolate. I liked milk chocolate when I was younger. I have now switched to semi-sweet for this, so that's the thing that I'm doing. And I don't have springform pans right now. I have one that's right now holding a tiramisu, which will be in a different video. And you know what? I don't want to go through the whole falderall of putting cookies into a Ziploc bag and crushing them with a rolling pin, or putting them in a food processor with some butter and blind baking a crust. And you can get chocolate crusts already made, but they don't hold as much as a springform pan. Plus, the cream cheese that I have, I do not have a sufficient amount for the 3 packages of cream cheese that this calls for. I only have 16 ounces. They wanted 24 ounces of cream cheese. So I'm going to work with you to see the math on reducing a recipe. Now, if you're cutting something in half, that's usually pretty easy. But when you're reducing something by just 1/3, it gets a little bit more difficult. Now, I don't need to worry about the butter or the cookies because that's handled with the store-bought crust. All right, so we've got to do some math to make this all work because I only have 2 out of 3 parts of the cream cheese. So that's where we're going to start our conversions because we already have our own pie crust. So instead of 3 packages of cheese, we've got 2 packages of cheese. No problem there. We start off with 3/4 cup powdered sugar. We're going to turn that to 2/4 cup powdered sugar. Oh wait, 2/4. We can reduce that because they're both even. That goes to 1/2 cup powdered sugar. Okay. Easy enough. 3 eggs. Reduce that to 2 eggs. Hey, this is easy. 3 to 2, 3 to 2. No problem, right? 1/3 cup cream. Yeah, there's a 3 there, but no, the 3 has to be on the top, just like it was over here. So I could multiply this all by 3 and come up with 3/9 cup. That's equivalent, which would then turn to 2/9 cup. But I don't have a 1/9 cup. I've got an 1/8 cup, but I don't have a 1/9 cup. So let's scratch that and bring over my conversion chart. Now, this luckily has not just cups, but what it is in tablespoons. And when I go up to 1/3 cup, I see it's 5 1/3 tablespoons makes 1/3 of a cup. All right, I'm gonna work with this. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be close. It's not 6, so I can't just go 2, 2, and 2, because this one would be a little bit shorted. So if I go like 1 2/3, and then 1 2/3, this would then be 1 and, with the extra, yeah, it would be a little bit extra on that last one, but you know what, I'm just gonna go with it. So if I've got 1 2/3 times 2, that comes to 2 4/3. Do I want to do that, or maybe do I want to do the 1 1/3, 1 1/3? Yeah, that's how it's gonna have to be, I think. So that's gonna be 3 tablespoons plus, when I go up here, a tablespoon splits perfectly into 3 teaspoons. So that's 1 teaspoon cream. So 3 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon cream is gonna be about the conversion there. It's not perfect, but you know what? Nothing in life is perfect. All right, now we come down to vanilla, and it's 1 tablespoon. And we already know from this chart, that's 3 teaspoons, so it's gonna be 2 teaspoons. And in my original recipe, it's between a 1/2 cup and 1 cup of chocolate chips. So I'm just gonna eyeball that as necessary. All right, so this is my newly converted recipe for the filling. 2 packages of cream cheese, 1/2 cup powdered sugar, 2 eggs, 3 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon of whipping cream, and 2 teaspoons vanilla, eyeballing the chocolate chips. Really, I didn't have to do this. I could have just gone with full out cream cheese and then just kind of faked it with everything else, keeping all the other ingredients the same, and had something that was more cream, more egg, and more sugar than is proportionate for the cream cheese. Would it have still turned out? Maybe, but it wouldn't be as thick as the cream cheese would make it, which means the chocolate chips might sink more to the bottom, which is not what I want. So I'm glad that I did these conversions. I think it's gonna work out. Now, my handwriting got better the older I got, and then it got worse suddenly after college. But this really looks like my middle school handwriting and maybe my early high school handwriting more than my college handwriting. So yeah, let's see what middle school me has written down. Heat oven to 225 on it. Blend cream cheese and sugar for 3 minutes on medium speed, okay? Turn down to low and add the eggs, okay? Scrape the bowl and add the whipping cream and vanilla. Beat medium-high 3 minutes. Pour 3/4 of the filling into crust, sprinkle on chips, and add the rest of the filling. Oh, so we're kind of sandwiching the chocolate chips in the middle, okay? Bake for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Turn off oven and let coast down for 1 and 1/2 hour. Refrigerate 8 hours before serving. Okay, so if you're making this for Valentine's Day, you're going to want to make it at least the day before. Good to know. Well, let's see if middle school me accurately wrote down these instructions, and let's see if my math did the right work. All right, it is the next morning. When we baked it, it was 225 for an hour and 15 minutes, and then I turned it off and let it cool down for 1.5 hours in the oven, and then I put it in the refrigerator overnight. One of the nice things about these store-bought crumb crusts is they have this plastic cover, and if you take the little paper label off of it, it's a really nice way to protect your pie or cheesecake for taking it to a potluck or over to a friend's house if you're doing that. So that long, slow time at a lower temperature prevents the egg in this basic custard from over contracting with its proteins. The slow cool down time allows it to gel in place instead of, again, cracking. And so that's how you get that smooth finish on a cheesecake. You just have to let it take its time. Some people will also put a cup of water in there to keep things nice and moist. I've never had to do that with my cheesecakes, but I will do that with the steamed pudding. So, all right, time to cut into this. Oop, coming apart. I'm gonna use a different knife. All right, so it didn't come out of the pan perfectly. Usually I find the first piece out never comes out nicely. Usually it's like piece 3 to 5 is where they start coming out pretty, but let's go for taste. Yeah, that's good. Now I suppose if I had made my own crust, the crust would be something really special. But the chocolate crust with the chocolate chips makes this perfect. Excuse me. I think the modifications that I did to the recipe worked out really well. It's got a really nice custard, no cracks on the top, not too wet on the inside, not too firm or crumbly. It's nice and soft and smooth in texture. And because I took the chocolate chips and I kind of chopped them up a little bit, they work out really nicely to not be giant chunks that the knife hits and then smushes through the cake. So I'd go with mini chips or chopping the chocolate up nice and fine. So that's the most dangerous dessert known on earth, or at least in my family. I'll make another dessert soon, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope this inspired you. Have a great day.